know me, they know that not only am I a pharmacist, but I actually specialize. I was a nuclear pharmacist.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it's a time commitment.
It is. But here's the thing. We're able to do it now.
Right.
And being debt-free allows that type of freedom.
Hello, everyone. This is Josh Rogers. You are watching Make It a Yes podcast, sponsored by Greater Nashville Title. And today I have Chris Stanton with us today, and with Divine Stewardship, financial planning, personal financial coaching business.
That's correct, yeah.
So that is a pretty cool name. Tell me a little bit of, maybe the name will kind of, if you elaborate, that will kind of tell us what you do.
Yeah, so Divine Stewardship, it's a company, again, personal finance, coaching, consulting. It's just me and my wife, and we felt a calling to really help those individuals really come together and figure out their finances. It was a journey that my wife and I started about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And just recently decided to go full-fledged into it. And Divine Stewardship, we got the name really because both my wife and I are faith-based.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I mentioned, we had a calling. We felt like we had this pull. And ultimately, everything comes from God, essentially, right? Everything comes from Him,
right.
including money.
Mm-hmm.
And God calls us to be good stewards of what He provides. And,
right.
There's always the story of the talents,
mm-hmm.
right? The parable of the talents. And since everything is about stewardship and everything comes from God, it's divine. So therefore, divine stewardship. It's a way of just giving back, a way of managing God's money His way, and really getting people on the right track. So that's where the name came from. It was a collaboration of the divine right. Providence, God, and then Him asking us and telling us what to do with what He provides, and that's be good stewards.
Brilliant. Yeah, if you can't, what's the other saying? Well, I'll mess it up. I don't want to butcher it. So the stewardship,
mm-hmm.
You can't manage anything without being a steward of whatever that is, whether it's
right.
money or whether it's business, whatever. You have to manage it. You have to focus on it, right?
Right. It's all about management, really.
Yeah,
Stewardship is essentially management.
Right.
And it's being done or purposefully being done a particular way. And God lays out like how to steward in the Bible itself. It's all throughout Old Testament and New Testament. So it's just where to look and how to discern it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have a good idea, it's then taking action. That's the biggest thing, right? Especially when the story of the parables of the three talents.
Right.
It's the taking action portion, right? The landowner to the third servant, he didn't do anything, right? He buried his talent, right? So it's the action that also is part of stewardship. It's not just managing it. There, for personal reasons, there's also a way of going about it, a proper way of going about it, and that action needs to be done. So not just understanding what to do, but actually putting that understanding into action.
Right. And I'm glad you bring that up, because so many of us, oh my God, I didn't lose the money. That's great. Right. That's great. I kept it. I saved it. I put it under my mattress. Right. And here I have the same amount of money 10, 20 years later.
It's actually less, right? So the power of that, of burying it in the ground or burying it in a shoebox or burying it under your bed, you've now actually lost value. Because of inflation, right? So inflation attacks the money of something that just stays there. In the parable, the master goes and says, "Well, why didn't you at least put it in the bank so I can at least earn interest?" Right? So I mean, it's there. It's like, okay, maybe putting it in a shoebox isn't the greatest way to steward this money, right? It's not the best course of action. It's not putting that money in the best place for any action to be taken on it. So it's a very telling story because there's multiple truths that can come out of it.
Right.
And I found it fascinating. at the very beginning of our journey, we weren't necessarily faith-based on it. I'll say that. We've kind of grown into this. But once you start seeing the power that's actually there in front of you, it makes the path that much more clear.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
That's what really it is. People get afraid because they think the water is so muddy. Maybe that top layer is, but you got to go underneath it. Like when you're snorkeling, you can't see the bottom until you put the goggles on and you go under the water and you're doing the action of going in, and now the water is crystal clear.
Okay, so give me an example of how that happened for you, because it had to happen for you first, right?
Yeah. So we are completely debt free.
Amazing.
So
okay.
And when I say debt free, we have literally no outstanding debts.
Wow.
No mortgage.
Yeah.
No car notes. The only thing we pay are monthly expenses and taxes.
And I've been to your house. I know it's not a tent. It's very nice. Yeah.
And that took a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like a lot of strategic moves.
Okay.
Some accelerated the process. I'm not going to lie. There was a big move from New York to Tennessee.
Yes.
That helped accelerate that process for sure. But even if we had not made that move, we were still on track to become debt free within 5 years, right?
Okay.
So we would be 5 years from now, we would be debt free. So there was a path there, and probably even earlier, considering with income streams and whatnot increasing. So there was always that path, right?
Okay.
We just made some strategic moves to make it faster,
Nice.
right? So to kind of start like the journey, where did it all come from? We kind of told this story on our podcast, and it was really, I'm a big bowler.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So I bowled all the way through grammar school, all the way through college.
Wow, I didn't know it started that long.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I
wow.
actually ran I was a personal bowling coach.
Okay.
I've done some high school assistant coaching for my alma mater, my high school, Archbishop Malloy. So I did that for a little bit. And then again, I was a bowling coach, and I would go out and give lessons, and it was my own little side gig that I did.
Amazing.
And one night, we were getting done with Monday night bowling. I remember it was a Monday night bowling, and it's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And on the way home, I listened to talk radio. Right, so I'm listening to talk radio, and Dave Ramsey comes on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, everyone knows Dave, right?
Sure.
Especially right here in Tennessee,
right in Nashville.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm listening to this, and I had heard Dave several times before, but he then talked about Proverbs.
Okay.
I believe it's 22:7, where it says the borrower is slave to the lender.
Right.
Okay, so I said to myself, okay, that's interesting. Now I'm a Catholic at the time, and I'm like, okay, well, I'd never actually heard of that, so let me go look it up.
Okay,
and he didn't give the address, right? So that's the address, right? So he didn't give the address. He just said that it's in there. So I searched myself,
right?
And sure enough, it's there.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'm like, okay, now I got to start listening a little bit more. I got to start understanding a little bit more. And then another Monday night goes by, and I'm listening again on the way home, and there he is again, and he talks about now what he considers debt.
Right.
And if anybody who's not familiar with Dave Ramsey, everything is debt.
Sure, everything's debt.
Everything is debt.
It's not Robert Kiyosaki kind of mentality.
It is complete 180.
Yeah.
Right. So if everything is considered debt,
right,
then I looked at myself, and I'm like, man, I got a lot of it.
Yeah.
So going back to what that debt is. So it's a mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a car. Because my wife and I just purchased a minivan.
Okay.
Okay. At the time, I still had student loans.
Okay.
Okay. We had solar panels.
Oh,
so we had put solar panels on our house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So right there, those excluding the house and the mortgage, we were over $150,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I now start like this big weight is now on my back. Totally on my back. Man.
So it just hit you.
Oh, 100%.
So it wasn't like, hey, look, this was a gradual thing. Oh my God, these payments are outrageous.
No.
This is just like, oh, I realize I'm in debt. And I don't want to be in debt.
That's a great point, because you're right. My profession at the time
Yep.
was I was a pharmacist.
Right.
And for those who know me, they know that not only am I a pharmacist, but I actually specialize. I was a nuclear pharmacist.
Yeah, well, we need to go into your personal story a little bit because let's finish this topic.
Right.
Let's definitely talk about your journey because it's interesting and it's where my mind went when you talked about, hey, look, I really got into bowling, and I was like, no, you get, once you get into something, you get all the way in it. Not just bowling, but there's so many facets of your life.
Yeah.
And now you're landing on a new one to become debt free.
Yeah.
And so now you're becoming, oh no, okay, here's one foot in.
Yes.
Now you're getting ready to jump into this journey.
Yeah, it's amazing that you picked that up because that's a big part of like my personality, right? It's if I see something and I do my research and I say, yes, this is something that can be done and I can do this and I see value in it, I don't just dip my toe in, so to speak. I kind of do like a cannonball.
Yes,
right,
you do a cannonball big time.
So so getting back, I was a nuclear pharmacist, and my wife is a pediatric dental hygienist.
Oh, wow.
So at the time, you're right, our as Dave likes to put it, our shovel is quite big. Okay?
Right.
Now, big in the sense that we're bringing in decent income. In New York, things are much more expensive than they are here. Right. So our big shovels compared to other parts of the country are just kind of mediocre. Okay, at best. Now, we're not struggling by any means.
Sure.
I've got 2 kids at this point, and two little kids. And again, we're not struggling. It's not a
so
struggle.
it wasn't a motivation of like some people like, hey, look, you are barely getting by. If an air conditioner breaks or your car breaks down, you are out. You are, you're incapacitated with because of the amount of debt.
Right, and we weren't that.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's what's even more interesting because you weren't. There's a lot of the world, not just Americans, right? That are comfortable.
Absolutely.
Why change if you're comfortable?
Absolutely.
If you don't have a problem with paying the payments,
right?
What's the big deal?
Exactly. And I didn't realize that I was in that state, right? Let's just put it that way. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize until I listened to Dave, and I honestly think it was the pull of the scripture.
Oh, okay.
Because I grew up, as I said, Catholic.
Right.
My father always had a Bible open in the house. I went through parochial school my entire life. I ran the gambit of all the saints. I can tell you, I started at Saint Stanislaus, Bishop and Martyr, and went to Saint Gregory the Great. And then I went to Archbishop Malloy High School, and then eventually to St. John's University.
Wow, there you go.
I ran the gambit. So I was in the Catholic realm, in the faith, and I wouldn't say I was. I like to say that I felt like I was a good Christian, but a terrible Catholic. Let's just put it that way.
Sure.
But I knew the Bible, and I knew it to be true, and I believe in Jesus and God. So I think what pulled me was the scripture. And then when I started doing my own research, then I realized, like, oh my goodness, yes, having debt can be detrimental. Right. So. And this is all at that time. And that was my motivation. I wanted to get rid of it because now think about it. If I have nothing, if I don't owe anybody anything, I can now just continue to fill up my cup and then direct my funds the way I want instead of needing to direct them to someone else first.
Right. That's exactly right.
So that was my pull.
Okay.
Now, getting that over onto my wife was a completely different story.
Yeah.
Because again, being of the faith, you got to work at a team. You got to work it as a team.
Okay.
And our podcast, our third podcast that just came out yesterday, Tuesday, we speak about that directly.
Okay.
About you are one. You're married, right? You're in the faith.
Right. 2
flesh become one.
Okay.
So therefore, you got to combine finances.
Sure.
Right. So everything comes into one checking account.
Right.
So I first had to get Corinne on board. Not that she was opposed to the taking 2 checking accounts and putting into one. It was just, as you said, getting that mind shift, right?
Yeah.
Trying to change it. We're comfortable. What do we need to worry about this for? Why do we even need to bother with this stuff? We pay everything. We're this, we're that. Everything is fine. Why are you changing it?
Right.
That's what I had to overcome.
Well, and I can only imagine because it's not just changing the finances or combining the finances, it's changing the mindset.
Everything.
Hey, look, we're not going out to eat tonight.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't want to cook. Well, we're going to strategize.
Right.
We're going to be better stewards of our money.
Absolutely.
Right. And so all that lifestyle change has to happen.
Correct. Absolutely.
And, for the bougie people out there, oh my gosh, what a lifestyle change,
Yeah. And especially around friends of mine that, we're all probably in the same socio-economical class, right? So it's like, who wants to go out to eat this week, that week, this weekend, that weekend? Let's get the kids together. Let's go out together. Let's go to this place. And again, we could have continued.
Right.
Like there was nothing stopping us with that lifestyle. There really wasn't. Like I said, we weren't struggling.
You weren't going to go to bankruptcy.
No. The only thing that I kept on being annoyed about was that there was too many darn Amazon boxes every once in a while,
Right, exactly.
So it's like, after a while, I'm, every, let's say month or so, every other month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it be, but having to dip maybe into the savings just to pay off the credit card.
Sure.
Right. Again, we had it. It wasn't like it was a detrimental thing to us. We had the money. It was just the idea of having to dip into this to pay for regular stuff. So, slowly introducing Dave, slowly introducing the podcast. Hey, listen, just listen to this. Hey, listen, just read this. Hey, do me the favor, just, again, watch this. And slowly but surely, I think over about 3 to 6 months, it took me to get Corinne on board. And then once she said yes, that's it. We went in, full throttle, did everything. I mean, even down to the T of liquidating all of our savings except for $1,000.
Wow.
The biggest thing for me, because you go through the program, FPU, Financial Peace University, right? You go through that program, and
so you went through the program.
Yeah, we purchased it, went through it, and he gives like a dichotomy of two individuals and their spending habits or whatever.
Right.
So within a family structure, generally there's one that's a saver, one that's a spender.
Right.
Corinne's the spender. Yeah. I'm the saver.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So one story that I normally tell at this point is, okay, we're going full throttle into this. Mm-hmm. One of the steps is that you're now tackling debt full on, as it says, gazelle intensity. And you need to stop contributing to your 401k. Now, as a saver,
wow, yeah,
that's a huge thing. Like I've done that from the moment I've gotten my real full professional job.
Sure,
I have been contributing at least 10% of whatever it is I make, possibly more at some point, because I think I had it increasing, away to my to a retirement investment. Right,
definitely.
So I am a saver.
Yep. Okay.
So to stop saving and click that button, again, temporarily.
Right.
I remember calling Corinne. I'm in my office, and I'm calling her on the phone, and I got the mouse over the button, and I'm like, we're sure about this, right? Like, we're doing this because there's no coming. Like, if we're not going to do this, then there's really no point in me stopping. I got my heart, pounding. Right. And she goes, no, we're doing it. And I clicked off for the contribution. And from that moment on, Josh, let me tell you, I had wanted so badly to get out of debt as quickly as possible because I wanted to start contributing again. Right. 9 months.
Wow.
9 months it took us.
150,000 in 9 months.
We had about 40. We had about 30 or 40 saved up already.
Okay. All right. So you took the savings, stopped contributing. You are taking every dollar.
It's assigned. It's every dollar, and Dave's app is called Every Dollar. We didn't use that, but we used the envelope system, so we switched over to cash.
Okay.
We didn't cut up our credit cards. We just threw the credit card in the drawer and didn't touch it.
Right.
Everything was either debit or cash.
Okay.
And we went cash envelopes, and this is where my wife, Corinne, she thrives in this because she is so creative and organized, way much more than I am. I mean,
I get that.
I am more of a big vision guy.
Right.
She takes everything down to the minute level. She can take the big vision and bring it down and really analyze.
Actions,
yeah. And she's great with that. So she went nuts with that stuff, and she absolutely and it was like the perfect pair because I can I can see everything from abroad, and she's down in the weeds, and she's able to manage the money tremendously, and with the envelopes tremendously. And yeah, we had everything down to a T. Now, it took a good 2 to maybe 4 months to hash out everything.
All the little systems, right?
Because, I forgot I had that subscription on the credit card. I forgot I had that. This is coming up. Okay. So it took 2 to 4 months. 3 is like the sweet spot.
Right.
But 2 to 4 months, I'd say maybe closer to 4 months with us, where it was a little getting the little things. But once that 4th month went,
okay,
man, we were on autopilot.
Really?
Because we had everything already to the T. We had certain events that we knew were coming up. We were putting a sinking fund, as they call it, for those, divvying up the cash, even stuff that was paid by credit card. We were putting cash away so that when we knew it was coming up, we would then take the cash, go deposit in the account, and then pay it directly from the card. From the account.
So you just didn't even leave it in the account?
No.
Holy cow!
There were certain things that we did exactly just that.
Wow.
And like I said, everything had a job to do.
Right.
Money. The purpose of money is exchange. Right. It's a means of exchange. So it wants to flow. It wants to be spent. It needs to do something.
Okay.
If you don't assign it and tell it what to do, it will control you.
Oh.
Right? It's going to come to you and say, you need to spend me. And if you don't have a job for it to do, you're just going to spend it on frivolous things.
Right. Okay.
And is that good stewardship of it?
No.
Probably not.
Right.
Right? So it has a design. It has a purpose. You need to put it where it needs to go. You direct it. Don't let it direct you. And let me tell you, man, we needed I'm telling you, 9 months, maybe even 8 months, but I think it was 9 months. We were completely outside of the house. We were debt free.
Amazing. So a big thing to me, what did that do for you? Was it worth it? And then on top of it, what did it do for your marriage? What did it do for you as a father?
Yeah. So the marriage got stronger.
Yeah.
100%. It got stronger in that regard.
Right.
Like financial, we didn't fight at all.
Yeah.
We maybe had like little disagreements of what to do with extracurricular activity type things, when to do it, maybe.
Sure.
But when it came to finances and purchasing things and assigning, we were right on board.
Wow.
Let's put it this way. I can't remember an argument about money.
Fantastic.
I can't find an argument about money. I can't remember one.
Well, I love that. So just for the people that are watching, that,
imagine that.
You probably have the statistic. How many marriages end?
It's the number one deciding factor. Again, we talk about it in our podcast too.
Yeah.
The number one deciding factor around divorce, money.
Right.
Finances.
And so a lot of the times, the provider, a lot of the times it's the male still. If it is the male and they lose a job, something happens, they're in deep with finances and debt. They can't pay the debt. It's stressing, your spouse out.
Everyone.
Yeah. And, that it just becomes unbearable. And then, hey, look, you were the cause.
That's generally, I would say, maybe how it goes. Another portion of that, and we talk about it, is when you don't combine finances. Mm-hmm. So again, it made it easy because we combined finances.
Right. Yeah.
We know so many couples that, and again, we were one of them, not by choice. We were lazy.
Sure.
To keep separate accounts.
Yeah, it gets difficult when you run out of the same checking account. That's for sure.
Well, think about it this way. Logical sense would say the larger income handles the larger bills.
Right.
Right? And let's say the smaller income can handle the smaller bills, like the little incidental things. So that's kind of what we did. Corinne was making good money. I was making good money. And the mortgage I covered, she covered just about everything else. And if she couldn't cover it, whatever was left, then I would just dip into my account and just pay it. Now, again, we weren't fighting over that, but it did make it like, in a way, hey, listen, I need to come to you to cover me, right? Like almost like that type of dichotomy. And that's kind of the wrong footing for a marriage.
I love that. I love that, because even if it's the other foot, whether you're the male or the female or whatever your relationship is, if you have to go to the other person to cover the whole, you are put on. It
like brings a sense of shame.
Yes,
right.
It's like you're borrowing money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's like that. I need to go to my significant other to borrow from perhaps that borrowing aspect, or to cover. I need you to cover for me. No. There is no for me.
Right.
For you is me. Right. We are one.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where you eliminate the sense of shame, embarrassment, or fear of being ridiculed or demonized, because now everything is one, right? You are one unit. You are one unit. Everything is coming in. There's no hiding of anything. Now, what you do after, I love that
too, yeah.
Right? What you do after it comes into the one, that's between you guys. Right? I'm very much so for separate accounts after everything comes in, because you're going to need your spending time to do what you want to do. She's going to need her spending money for what she wants to do.
Right.
As long as everything is assigned and you now divvy up between you two for your pleasure and her pleasure, I'm all for that. But the initial has to come in. You need to cover everything and tell it what to do. And then what's left over, then you can decide what's for you guys. You can have I used to get $100 a month for whatever I wanted to do. Mostly I used to buy books. Sure. And that was my thing. I'm a reader. So I would put it there, or if I wanted to save up for something a couple of months down the road, I now have $200-$300. I can go buy something else. Same thing. She had a couple of $100 that she would save on the side for her account, whatever she wanted. That's absolutely fine, as long as everything is coming into one, and then from there we know what's being divvied up and assigned where it needs to go. Because who wants to have that emotional? You said it before, stress.
Yeah,
stress we know is a metabolic disaster on us.
Oh,
stress,
really?
Oh,
yeah.
It does stress is one of the most detrimental things to the body, because it attacks so many different things. You could be run down because of stress. What about college students that go out and they're stressing over finals, and then once the finals are done, how many of them actually get sick? A ton of them. At least I know in pharmacy school, it used to happen to us all the time. Because you're studying, you pressure, and then once it's done, now everything's relaxed, and now your body's got to recover, and you fall into maybe your immune system got hit. So now you get a little sick. The regular common cold that you would normally be able to fight off now lingers that extra 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah, what a good point. What a good point.
When you don't have that stress, especially with the person you love. I mean, again, you love this. You love them so much to marry them. And in our faith, death to do you part. So you're with this person until the day you die, or until the day they die. That's a long time.
That's
hopefully.
a magnitude that has some weight behind it.
It certainly does. And if you're not taking it seriously, I would ask you to really look at it. Look at your marriage, because this is so fundamental, and it was something that we were we lacked it. We absolutely lacked it. I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. We were in that boat. I know exactly how it is, how it feels, and I know people that are in that same boat now. And it's, whenever you have something that's like so good, you just want to shake everyone and tell them, like, hey, listen, this is what you need to do. That's like, kind of
try this. This is really good. I promise you.
And that's how we led, right? That's how we started, and it grew. I'm today we're no longer like advocates of Dave Ramsey, and we were very, very hardcore with Dave Ramsey. But when you get into this, now you start learning other things. Because I said I'm an avid learner, I'm an avid reader. So I'm also quite antsy. When I see something, I want to attack it. And like I said, next thing was the mortgage. I was everything outside of the mortgage, but the mortgage was next. And we attacked that differently.
Well, and so let's ask you a question here about attacking the mortgage. Did moving to Tennessee, a less expensive area. Now, I'm assuming that you had enough equity. You had equity over there to help in New York, right? And now you can, you're looking for that. What was that process like? Now we still got to get back to your background, but however, if what was the process? All right, so now we've got everything taken care of besides the mortgage. I mean, you're making all these evolutionary changes.
Yes.
You are
That's
like
a great word.
You are evolving as a person. Now you're a coach, but you've lived it.
Yes.
And you found these systems, I'm assuming, and you're creating these systems as you go. And then the point I'm trying to get at is okay. So what happened? You paid the $150,000 off. Now you have this mortgage. And you made some key decisions, and being a family person, all my family's in Texas, and I'm very much a family person too, and I miss them like crazy. But I landed here, and I loved it here, and I thought this was a great place to raise a family in Tennessee. It's a little different. I just can't imagine leaving an Italian family in New York.
Puerto Rican and Italian.
Because everyone, the Catholic guilt that goes along with.
Oh yeah,
you're leaving your mother.
Yeah, everything. Oh man, so yeah, it was. I love the word evolution because it's exactly what it was. We were evolving in our knowledge of personal finance. Really,
sure.
We went through all these stages, and the mortgage was the next thing, right? It was the next logical step. Now it was attack that. Now Dave allows people on his program to kind of take the foot off the pedal a little bit, start investing again, and all this other stuff while you're attacking your mortgage. And one of the things was you change it to a 30 to a 15. And so we did that, and we were on a 15-year mortgage. And I'm still antsy. Like, it's just not fast enough. I just cut half our time, and I'm like, it's still not quick enough, right? So now the pandemic hits.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're in around the time of the pandemic.
Did you learn about how interest and how the interest to principal? Did you learn how amortization schedules? Did you dive into that at that time?
Yeah, so it was right around that time that I, again, started looking, and I started looking at timetables.
You moved from a 30 to a 15, but it's still, you got a hefty interest.
Yeah, and on top of that, we were also adding and contributing more each month.
Okay.
So we were actually, I don't know if we were quite doubling, but we were adding more each month to it.
Well, that's the only way you're going to beat it. That's or tackle it faster. You got to get out of that interest.
Thought.
Okay.
So we thought.
And
so, like I said, right around COVID, I didn't stop because pharmacies, my pharmacy was considered essential.
Essential, yeah.
So in New York, we were still essential workers, so we still needed to produce and deliver our meds at the time. And
your wife's a hygienist, and
she was let go.
Yeah. So there's no hygiene for the dental,
for at least 3 months she was without work.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, and again, we weren't struggling again.
But if you didn't make those moves,
it would have been different for sure.
It would have been definitely different now. And if you weren't making the moves before then about the savings and everything else,
oh man, we would have hit that aspect. Yeah.
If you would have went and bought, the $100,000, the $150,000 car, lived in the $1 million house, we
couldn't do any of that.
Yeah,
that for sure. Like it was like, again, living in New York, we were living in a 1,600 square foot house, and our taxes were $15,000 a year.
Yeah,
like that was just normal.
That's over $1,000 a month.
Just in that. So our mortgage, by the time we had switched to what we first initially did was, after COVID, or right around COVID, we had switched to what we call velocity banking.
Okay.
Now this is completely 180 of what Dave teaches. Like it took a lot for me to realize, or to learn, not necessarily realize, but learn that there's more ways to get what you need to be done when it comes to money. There are multiple ways of doing things, and one of the methods is this.
Let's start with the evolution of the mindset of why are you even looking into this?
As I said, I'm an antsy person, and I
happened?
wanted it faster. I wanted to be out of debt quicker.
So you're doubling up your mortgage payment.
Just about.
Yeah, and
we were adding more.
Yeah, you were adding more to pay towards the house.
And the mortgage was like $3,900 now at this. From 30, like I think it started when we first did everything at 27.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was when we started. Corinne would know the number more on that. So like I think it was 27. By the time before we just switched over to Velocity Banking, it was up to like $3,900 a month.
Right. Yeah, because you went from a 30-year to a 15. So
right, then every year taxes were getting higher and higher.
Oh, on top of that.
On top of that.
Yeah, and that's doing nothing for you for the house mortgage.
Right,
house
and just imagine there's some portion of that is going into an escrow account also, right?
Yes.
So it's not even just going to principal. There's taxes, school taxes,
all of it, yeah.
Property taxes, and then an escrow, which kind of holds over just in the event you have to pay extra, right?
Yes.
So all of this, people don't realize that until you actually start learning about it and looking into it.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I started going into the weeds a little bit more.
Okay.
I remember flipping around YouTube and just looking up different styles and different things.
What was the epiphany? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
What was that? If you can pinpoint it going, oh my God, I think
I was searching how to pay off mortgage faster.
Okay.
Like I think that's really what it was.
Okay.
And I came across this phrase or term called velocity banking.
Velocity banking, okay.
And there was a couple of channels that I watched, but a particular mentor. We hired a mentor in this because, again, like Dave was a mentor. His program was a mentor to us.
Okay.
I have no problem seeking out someone to guide me into getting what I need done.
Well, you're not reinventing the wheel, and you're trying to do it faster. And so if you're trying to do it faster, you're trying to get the guy to get you there faster.
Correct, 100%. Yeah. And I have no problem. As long as I see value in that, I'll pay for it.
Okay. Fantastic. Right.
And we found our mentor. His name is Denzel Rodriguez, and he guided us through the whole process. And it was just like.
Is this the velocity banking?
Yeah, the velocity banking.
Okay.
At the same time, I'd also learned about infinite banking was also part of that whole thing. I was learning that concept as well at the same time.
So are you getting to it? What is velocity banking?
Yeah, velocity banking is essentially taking your mortgage and transforming it or utilizing a HELOC to pay everything off.
That's what I was thinking it was.
The biggest one is making it, or the best one is making it a first lien HELOC.
Right.
So now everything, again, we were used to everything funneling into one account.
Right.
So now with a velocity banking, it has the checking account with the mortgage payment all combined essentially. So the bank that we utilized, all the money would come into the checking account, and then at the end of the night, it would do a sweep and go right into the credit. Like your
credit
equity
line, yeah. Okay.
So essentially, we got the house. We received the deed. So now we own the house, and all we're doing is just paying back the bank at not an amortized interest, at a simple interest.
Right.
And the simple interest is accrued daily. Now,
interest
how do
only,
I tackle that portion?
Right.
Because that interest over time could be a lot.
Sure.
Well, part of the strategy is to now everything that you purchase, everything, goes on a credit card.
Right.
But not just any credit card. It's got to go on a credit card that gives you the highest cash value or cash back.
Right. Okay.
So highest cash back. And then once every month is done, once you've paid that, you take that cash back money, put it into the account. So if you had, let's say, $700 worth of interest and you had $300 of cash back, you just cut your interest by $300.
Right.
So now instead of paying $700, you paid $400 in interest.
Right. Okay.
So, and nothing's changing. Your regular spending isn't changing.
I love
so
this.
you're reducing now your monthly.
It
or
gives
your
you a little
daily
shot
interest.
in the arm for stuff you're going to buy anyway.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Nothing else. I just switched now. Instead of cash, go all credit, all credit card. Pay everything out of the checking account because it doesn't matter. Because if it's negative, it comes out of the credit line. If it's positive, it goes into the credit line.
Right.
So as long as you're still positive, you still have positive cash flow, everything just continues to go down.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So.
And that was, if we were to follow that 15 now went down to 7.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now, when you really look at an amortization schedule, you'll see this. I explain it to people, my customers in the mortgage world, is I explain it to them. Hey, look, Wall Street wants their money. They're going to loan you this money. They have figured out, they know with all the statistics, the average person is going to keep their house 5 to 7 years.
Right.
Right. So am I going to stretch out that interest over 15 years or 30 years so it's even over the life of the loan? When I know you're going to get out of this loan in 5 to 7 years, there's no way I'm not maximizing my money. I gave you the money to buy the house. You bought the house. You're paying me back. So I know human nature, you're going to only keep it 5 to 7 years at the max, right?
Right.
Okay. So now, if I'm right, the rule is 72. The interest.
Right. It's all on the interest, right?